So, why did I build a terminal inside Storyline? Hello, everyone. I needed a code terminal experience, so I created this. But you can use it for a sentence, a password, or any string you want the user to type exactly as an answer to a quiz, a challenge, or a summary. All of these are basically part of hands-on practice. What exactly do I solve in the Storyline? Storyline doesn't support live check. It only has the usual text entry we all know, which has various problems. Storyline normally waits for you to press a button or lose text entry focus before it checks what the user typed. This is not immediate feedback. My goal here is to give users instant feedback when they make a mistake. So if someone types the wrong letter, number, or character, the background color changes as they type. What objects should we add to the Storyline slide? Let's start with the Storyline first. I put a harmful code here that needs to be fixed. Then I added a text entry and named it Input Box in Storyline. The default name is text entry with a number. Always make sure that. 1. The accessibility name is the same as the name on the timeline. The JavaScript won't work if it's not the same. Do that by right-clicking and GT, accessibility. And 2. The automatic Storyline trigger has the same name. Look here. Set input box equal to the typed value when input box loses focus. Next, I added a text box called display box. Check the accessibility name as well to give feedback and display what the user types into the text entry. Finally, I added states to this display box, one green and one red, for the correct and incorrect feedback. What 3 Storyline variables should we add to the Storyline? Now, we need 3 simple Storyline text variables. Here's what each one does. The first variable is for our text entry. We call it the same as the object. Choose the text type, and the default value, we leave it empty. The second variable is for the text box display box that mirrors the input live so you can display it nicely. Again, call it the same as the object. Choose the text type, and the default value is empty. The third variable is display color. This is not connected directly to an object on the slide, but to the states of the display box. It's for the JavaScript code. It tells Storyline from the JavaScript what color the display box background should be. Red for wrong, green for right. I always add a text box with all the variables I created to check that it works. Later, we can move this to the slide's invisible side so the user won't see it. What does the JavaScript do? Now let's move on to the JavaScript code. I open a trigger in Storyline, execute JavaScript when the timeline starts on this layer, and paste the JS code. This script is in the YouTube comments for you to copy and paste. An important note, the execute JS trigger must be on the same layer as the text entry. Trust me, you don't want to mess with it. This JavaScript checks what users are typing, one letter at a time, and compares it to the correct full text. If everything matches so far, it turns green. If even one character is off, it will color red until fixed. JavaScript code explanation. So let's do a little explanation here of our code. First, I named this version because I have tried many scripts before, so I won't be confused with other versions. Let player. This is just setting up a placeholder for Storyline to talk to the correct answer. Here, I put the fixed and correct code, but you can absolutely change it for something other than code. You can make users type a specific term, slogan, command, sentence, string, or anything else you want. To do that, just change this line in the code and type whatever you want them to type as the correct answer here, but keep it inside quotation marks. If you are not interested in theory, you can skip the rest of the JavaScript explanation and proceed to the practical triggers part. Wait for Storyline function. In short, if the JavaScript runs before Storyline is fully loaded, the whole thing breaks. So just leave this one as is. Don't delete it. Don't modify it. It's here to make sure everything waits until Storyline is ready. Const input field. Here, we call the text entry that we created in Storyline, which I called input box, and the code recognizes it automatically as one. If you use 2 of them in one slide, and it's another video, just use one. Autocomplete off. You can see here a bunch of lines in the code. Autocomplete equals off, spell check equals false, and so on. These are just browser settings to make it feel like a terminal. Because I don't want Chrome or any web page to try autofilling or spell checking document, getElement by ID, or any other code part, right? If you're not using this for the code terminal, but for checking sentences or words, and you do want the autocomplete, it's totally optional. You can delete those lines from this line to this line. Input field, add event listener. This part runs every time the learner types something. We grab what they typed, compare it to what we expected, and check if it matches so far. Then we send that text to Storyline by updating input box and display box so we can show it and react to it in real time. If. Now we have the conditions. This checks what color the feedback background should be and when. So, if nothing was typed yet, display box stays neutral, normal state. If everything typed so far is correct, display box turns green, green state. If something is wrong, display box turns red, red state. We use the display color variable, so Storyline can change the background based on this. That is all for the script explanation. What do the triggers look like in Storyline? All that's left are the Storyline triggers. You need 3 triggers on the terminal background object. Set state of display box to green when the variable display color changes, if display color value equals green. Set state of display box to red when the variable display color changes, if display color value equals red. Set state of display box to normal when the variable display color changes, if display color value equals normal. And input box equals empty. Just make sure they're based on the display color variable, not anything else. What does it feel like to use? Everything is ready. Preview. Start typing letters C, O, N, S, T, everything stays green. Then you mistype and type something wrong. The background turns red. Backspace and fix it green again. It's simple but powerful. Let me know how it went for you.